Regarding his lack of friends, he said, "Stoic man compared companionship to a diamond, priceless and elusive." He remarked, "Friendships are precious, rare, and frequently encircled, after a short while, by copies, mistakes in judgment that you start to think sometimes friendships are nothing more than illusions, simply phonies exaggerating this idea further." One person noticed that genuine mates are treasures to be treasured, but they hope we discover a companion in life that we can genuinely view with such reverence. But what does it mean to discover who you are? Often by themselves, navigating a world that appears to be overflowing with relationships. A deficiency of friends suggests something deeper quality ingrained in your identity. Today, we will explore this delicate subject, examining the complex world of relationships, or the absence of them. We'll consider the intricacies of contemporary social dynamics and their impact on our partnerships. Recall not having a friendship. C doesn't represent your worth occasionally. It's about determining that stay with us as we dig in, one genuine gem into comprehending the reasons behind why certain people find it difficult to discover these links and investigate the source reasons and, most crucially, reveal simple, doable actions to create genuine one. Introversion or shyness. Last friendships, similar to the tools a sculptor uses away at stone to uncover a work of art, you have the power to influence your social environments. Establishing deep connections that last throughout time, so continue concentrated. And let's start this adventure. Collectively through the Stoic prism, with hearts and minds open and prepared to learn, develop, and connect one's introversion or shyness. Despite the fact that our nature is sociable, the maze of social interactions for many feels like the missing pieces of a puzzle. Being reserved or shy is frequently perceived as a roadblock in our path, but the screenplay envisions these characteristics not as obstacles, but as distinct advantages, viewpoints from which to see the world. The art of Stoic wisdom is transforming alleged flaws into assets. The first thing to do is to accept who you are. Keep in mind, Marcus Aurelius, who muttered as time passes, "Accept the things that you are bound by fate." Being introverted isn't a flaw. It's about a silent power. Recognizing that your path is unique, not less. When you embrace who you are, escape the confines of what-if scenarios, and this acceptance of oneself ought to be your shield in the busy realm of social exchange, making you unwavering in your silence. So let's now discuss the right now. You're at a party. Enduring the well-known shyness tug. Herein lies the beauty of Stoicism. It reveals you concentrate on the things you can control. Your words and deeds are what give you control. 2. Issues with trust your generosity, not in the eyes of others, or the result you get when you talk, not to dazzle, but to convey this change in focus. Moving from judgment fear to the sincerity of your remarks eases the load, reducing the value of talks. More of a playground than a battleground for sincere relationships. Furthermore, recognize that friendship is a garden rather than a prize to be won. Nurturing in the pursuit of connections release oneself from the requirement for quick, similar to Seneca, who viewed life as a trip. See every exchange as a step on your journey, not as a measure of your value, by focusing on being who you really are. You give relationships room by being yourself, that speak to your actual self. Keep in mind that in the Stoic perspective, everyone you encounter is an opportunity to improve and consider more than just adding friends to your list. Via the perspective of Stoicism, timidity and shyness change from shadows to sources of light. Strength isn't about getting through these characteristics, but more about realizing and applying to help them traverse the intricate world of human partnerships between two people who trust problems in exploring the labyrinth of friendships, trust problems, and looming enormous, similar to walking on a tight RPP. Juggling your personal principles with the unpredictable consistency of other people's trust is not distributed similar to free samples at a store, the money you've earned piece by piece. Through being aware of what makes you mark the things that really terrify you. Being authentic is like to having a compass in the relationship's wilderness is concerning determining when to open the door to when to shut it off, and with whom recall how a tree understands how to stand its ground. Its roots, much as that tree is aware of your ingrains, your principles in this self-awareness. 3. Insufficient social opportunities is your mooring in the constantly shifting waves of interpersonal relationships. Acknowledge that people enjoy changing seasons. Therefore, someone could look reliable now and make a change. This is not a call to construct tomorrow. Barriers surrounding your heart, instead of admit that the one thing that never changes is maintain your emotional equilibrium. When trust is lost, it doesn't mean the end. The world provides a chance to learn and become more powerful. This doesn't imply you become aloof and impersonal in place of concerning being reasonable comprehension that perfection is untrue, particularly in terms of human behavior. Be like river that changes its flow, but constantly being open, honest, and genuine to yourself. Your most useful tool is communication. If, as doubts surface, discuss them. It's similar, like flicking on a light in a dimly lit room. Things become evident suddenly, so don't be shy. Evade these discussions, serve as the links that can result in more profound and significant relationships that a discussion might turn a miscommunication into a moment of clarity. But keep in mind that communication is a two-way street, listens intently to everything you say. Harmony between speaking and listening produces a dance of words with rhythm. And comprehension that reinforces the friendship ties in the end. It's about creating a social group where trust is the cornerstone, not three afterthoughts. Insufficient social opportunity while negotiating the labyrinth of modern life one may trip. Based on a subtle reality that not all friendships are based on not meeting individuals, although frequently not about interacting with the environment we live in. Phones buzz with alerts, yet our hearts long for the actual thing. Relationships envision this voluntary work in. It's not only about contributing in your community. For others, it's a means of connecting with souls. 4. Insufficient social skills who share your concerns and interests, no matter if you're growing trees or arranging the books in a nearby library. Each cooperative task is like weaving threads. These acts weave you into the social fabric, represent a Stoic virtue that is enhancing the better good, and as a result, you discover friends traveling together. So let's remember the importance of shared information. And Desire's picture walking into a room where the language spoken by all is that of your line of work or recreational activities, workshops and courses pertaining to your interests are more than just lines added to your return to them. They're rich soil for friendships in these settings. Talks flow naturally, as all around you are people who recognize the subtleties of your work or passion, similar to discovering your tribe, where career advancement and personal, remember that connections go hand in hand. To accept nature's bounty as your hiking and other social canvas activities, group yoga and riding aren't only for bodily well-being, they serve as catalysts for embracing nature as a means of connection. Talks sprout up like wildflowers. These actions remove the customs of ordinary social environments, enabling sincere relationships to develop and practice when you are outside. Thankfulness for the surroundings and for everyone with whom these moments are shared. It's not about you owning a ton of friends. It's important to treasure the relationships that liven up your life. This method, which is based on simplicity and sincerity, transforms the quest for connections into a rewarding lack of social skills in Journey 4. friendships do not just happen, need work and the appropriate strategy. Something we frequently forget in our hectic lack of social skills in life can be a 5. Shifting conditions, substantial impediment to formation, deep friendships. Recall how subtly Marcus Aurelius urged us to love. The people that fate sends into our life are encourage acceptance of social chances, no matter how tiny. Start with reasonable measures. Establish a join a coffee shop discussion local group or participate in virtual gaming groups with similar interests. These, the building blocks, are little exchanges. Barriers to self-assurance in social situations, similar to a plant that requires water and light. Social skills require development and patience. To develop a crucial element in listening is a social skill development, with purpose and compassion in a setting where everyone wants to be the one who is heard. Ask questions and stand out to those who listen, not only to reply, but also to comprehend and delve into the narratives of individuals who are genuinely interested in this change, concentrated on how you are seen. To deeper understanding is developed when one fully understands another. Links. It's not about making an impression others with your storytelling or wit, but about building an environment where people feel appreciated and acknowledged, in addition to embrace the fluctuations in social relationships, displaying a stoic serenity. Not every effort at talking will result in a lifetime of companionship, and it's okay for each communication if it develops into a step toward friendship or fizzles out moving ahead in your social journey. The 6. Priorities changing or growth rejection doesn't represent who you are, value, but an inherent aspect of human relationship. With every encounter, you're enhancing your social abilities, in addition to picking up the difficult mosaic of interpersonal connections with resilience and grace, help you to see your value. Is independent of how many friends you have possess, but the caliber of the bonds. You cultivate 5 shifting situations. Occasionally, the absence of our pals can retell the story. The story of the apple tree and the boy reflects the way our priorities change as we age, frequently slipping apart from relationships that was previously quite important to us as kids. Our friendships are similar to the jovial moments spent with the pure and free. Although as we mature, like the boy, our attention turns to what we believe to be necessities for finances and a house. In this pursuit, we might inadvertently disregard the relationships that once protected us, as the apple tree did, giving this change in priorities. Some shadow is common. It's a necessary aspect of growing up, changing. Yet frequently in pursuing what we believe we need, we neglect what we has. The boy already made his way back to the tree only in times of need, not otherwise recognizing the persistent lack of complaint friendship that was extended in a similar way. In our strive for prosperity and security, we may disregard our pals who are those who remain silent, create a void. Brimming with achievements maybe, but absent genuine emotional bonds. Mending or fostering relationships demands deliberate effort akin to garden maintenance. Isn't about elaborate gestures, but regular little acts of first comes kindness and standing. Contacting someone and striking up a conversation and being present rather than just joyful moments, as well as during difficult situations. Keep in mind that friendships grow like trees, deep roots. Gradually, not all at once. The story of the child and the tree tells us that friendship requires reciprocity and requires both parties' concern and attention. Don't be the young person who just recalled the tree. When things are bad, be the one who provides for and cherishes these connections on a regular basis. 6 varying priorities. Or 7. Mental health development in our dynamic existence, where we balance both our personal and professional lives. Development and frequent priority changes serves as a quiet designer in the forming or deteriorating friendships. Is Stoicism still a significant philosophy today? Way it did in antiquity instructs us to accept the dynamic nature of life and imagine, Your life is like an ever-flowing river, and altering your path while navigating via the career advancement rapids or the tranquil waters of your family's existence, naturally scheduled social time. This isn't a failure on the part of ES and flows on your part. It's just the truth of a totally stoic life provides useful advice for these times of shift when your schedule is busy with deadlines for meetings or relatives' obligations. But it's alluring to try and keep up a large social network. However, Stoicism suggests value over quantity. Having a few deep ones is preferable. Meaningful relationships rather than a large number of shallow ones. This strategy isn't not about excluding individuals, but instead about concentrating your efforts where the most important factor in achieving so is honor. Not just the time you have, but also the time of others. Cultivating connections that are sincere and satisfying. Adjustment to stoically navigating life's shifting priorities does not imply giving up on a living with fewer pals as an alternative concerning comprehending and acknowledging the interactions that naturally flow in some. Some friends could drift apart, but others will continue or even enter your life specifically as a result of your altered priorities, it is. With wisdom, embrace this adventure and bravery. Keep in mind every individual you meet, regardless of how long they stay, lifetime gives your life special worth. Let the fabric of existence be woven into your 8. Lifestyle decisions, relationships, and follow your stoicism to create bonds of friendship that go beyond significant, yet also ring true with the 7 mental person you are becoming health. Our mental health frequently overlooked in the rush of life is a quiet architectural cornerstone of Stoicism as a philosophy of friendships, simply of contemporary marble, but also of old resilience, clarifies that this isn't concerning tense upper lips, yet regarding being aware of our emotional environment when our inner selves are obscured by fear or depression clouded. It's as if attempting to make my way through a murky social maze. The Stoics advise us to shine a torch rather than not totally eliminate the darkness, but to perceive a way through it, just as George did. Carlin indicated what was underneath the surface of a pessimistic outlook is a let-down idealist. Don't worry about dressing rose-colored spectacles, but acknowledging that our struggles with mental illness can mistakenly construct barriers rather than bridges between us and possible pals. Right now, let's face it, pragmatism isn't about reciting Marcus Aurelius as you enjoy a first latte. Let's talk about concrete actions. Yes, mindfulness is not a fancy word. When daydreaming, the key is to be in the moment. In a society where our focus is the hottest commodity is completely available, discussion is similar to presenting a rare gift. It demonstrates your concern. Meditation as well as friendship money is for everyone, not just monks managing the responsibilities of life while reaping the 10 minutes each day go over and above your brain. It lets others know that you respect calmness and clarity as a result. The pursuit of tranquility may seem like in our round-the-clock world, but it's the foundation for enduring friendships. Calm doesn't mean running away to the beach. More often than not, it's discovering calm in the midst of chaos is about having an anchor to ensure that when life's storms, they will make sure you don't lose friends. Aren't simply for bright days, they are hides in storms. By aiming for inner tranquility, you become someone others desire to resort to Stoicism, reminds us that this inner tranquility is attainable through self-reflection and consistency. It's about recognizing our emotions. 9. Differences in interest, understanding them, and not letting them dictate our actions. This doesn't mean being emotionless. Rather, it's about being in control of how we react to our emotions. When you master this, you become a beacon of stability in an often unpredictable world. People are naturally drawn to those who exude a sense of calm and understanding. By cultivating your inner peace, you inadvertently create a welcoming space for friendships to flourish. Remember, in the pursuit of mental well-being, you're not just nurturing your mind, but also sowing the seeds for deeper, more meaningful connections. 8. Lifestyle choices. Life's rapid pace often leads to a solitary path where friendships fade into the background picture. You're chasing deadlines, ticking off to-do lists, but at day's end, the chair across from you at the dinner table remains empty. It's not just about being busy, it's about what you prioritize. Stoicism nudges us to look hard at our choices. Are you filling your hours with what truly matters? Reflecting on this can be a game share. It's about finding the courage to say no to time stealers that don't serve your deeper need for connection. Now consider this approach. Shape your day like a sculptor crafting a masterpiece. Each choice is a chisel stroke, carving out time for both responsibilities and relationships. It's not about stretching your day to fit more in, but rather about sculpting it wisely. You might have fewer hours for socializing, but the quality of these moments can soar by selecting the right people. Those who resonate with your values. Every interaction becomes more meaningful. It's about depth, not just breadth in your social world. Remember the Stoic art of balance. It's not just about dividing your time equally, but aligning it with what makes life genuinely fulfilling. Picture your life as a mosaic, with each piece representing an aspect of your existence. Work, hobbies, rest and friendships. Each holds a place. Your task is to arrange these tiles to create a harmonious pattern. It's a balancing act, one that requires constant adjustment and thought. But when you get it right, the picture of your life becomes not only beautiful, but deeply satisfying. 9 differences in interests. Diverse interests can be like different musical notes, each unique but part of a larger melody. When interests clash, it's not just a misted note, it's a potential symphony of connections left unplayed. Suppose you love rock music, but your colleague loves classical music. There's a gap, sure, but it's also a bridge waiting to be crossed. Stoicism nudges us to embrace these differences not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones to broader horizons. It whispers, find the harmony in discord. When we focus solely on our interests, we risk crafting a bubble that limits our worldview and our circle of friends by opening our arms to the diversity of passions around us. We're not just learning about new hobbies, we're unlocking doors to new relationships and perspectives. There's a saying, variety is the spice of life. Stoicism encourages this curiosity, reminding us that every person we meet holds a universe of experiences, ideas and passions. Suppose you're a die-hard gamer and your neighbor is into gardening. Instead of nodding and walking away, ask about their favorite plant, show interest in their world. It's not about pretending to love gardening, it's about appreciating their passion and in turn allowing them to see and appreciate. Remember this yours. This mutual curiosity is a powerful glue bonding people with different interests. It's about understanding that beneath these hobbies and passions, we share common threads of excitement, dedication, and joy. Stoicism serves as a compass guiding us to seek common ground in shared values and human emotions, rather than just common interests. Imagine a world where friendships are not just based on liking the same things, but on understanding and valuing each other's different